everybody, and welcome to Sports Rambling. I am your host, Brian Belcito, and we have a busy show for you today. Today is Wednesday, September 16th, 2020. Busy sports world going on. You got the NHL playoffs moving towards getting your Stanley Cup Finals matchup settled. Dallas is already there. Tampa Bay's one game away against the New York Islanders. They'll be playing Game 6 tomorrow. Baseball going into its final 10 games or so for everybody, getting exciting, lots of playoff spots on the line and stuff like that. So I'll have some sports updates for you as the week goes on, as we get towards the weekend again. But today we are focusing on the NBA playoffs, which have been absolutely fantastic. Last night we had Game 7 between the Los Angeles Clippers and the Denver Nuggets. We also have the Los Angeles Lakers, who took care of the Houston Rockets over the weekend and advanced to the Western Conference Finals. Over in the East, we've already had Game 1 of the Eastern Conference Finals between the Miami Heat, who knocked out the number 1 seed Milwaukee Bucks, and the Boston Celtics, who went 7 games with the Toronto Raptors. So as we've done so far through this bubble experience with the NBA, we did a show at the beginning of the bubble to preview what was going to go on in those play-in games, or the seeding games as they called it. And we did a show once the seedings were set. On both of those shows, I had my friend young Tim on board with me. He is back today to give me a little analysis and to discuss what's gone on in the bubble. So without further ado, I am going to get Young in here, and we are going to talk about the crazy NBA playoffs. So let me let him in the room, and then we will be on our way.
Yo.
Young, my friend, how are you?
Good, how are you?
Good, man. Can you hear me?
All good? I can hear you pretty good. Yeah.
Good. So what's new on the West Coast out there in SoCal, brother? What's going on?
A lot of fires.
Yeah, man.
Hot over here.
Yeah. Where
and
you are in Chino Hills, are you seeing a lot of smoke and ashes and stuff like that?
Well, not too much, but I think the nearest fire is in the San Gabriel Mountains, and I can smell it. Like a couple, not right now, not today or anything, but a couple of days I could smell it.
Yeah,
the sky was
your orange sunset picture that you put up a couple days ago and stuff like that.
It looked like something from Apocalypse Now or something. It's like, fuck.
Right. Well,
yeah, that's crazy. That was crazy.
Yeah, I just want to throw my love out there to everybody out there in Southern California. That's where I'm originally from, and I know what you guys are going through. Been there through the fires, but these are really bad. So, So what's your take? Let's get to it, brother. Let's.
All right.
This is going to be
subject, baby.
This is going to be bang on the Los Angeles Clippers half hour or something like that.
Or bang on fucking go crush on Doc. Oh my god.
Yeah. So we were talking about that last night. So that's 3 in his career. 3 times Doc Rivers has coached a team that has blown a 3-1 lead. 2003 with Orlando. They coughed it up to the Detroit Pistons. 2015, Clippers were up 3-1 on the Rockets.
Coughed
that one up. And then maybe the most improbable, because this is probably the best roster the Clippers have ever put together. And for them to go up 3-1 and lose last night was, it wasn't shocking because it's the Clippers. It was a little bit shocking.
What was shocking was Paul George and Kawhi went something like 0 for 11, right?
Yeah, in the fourth quarter. Yeah.
Yeah, they scored 0 points, right? 0.
Yeah, and they combined for.
I saw basically me and you scored same amount of points as them.
Yeah, pretty much. They combined for 10 for 38 shooting on the night. 10 for 38.
Like 25%. That's not gonna get it done in Game 7. Oh my gosh.
Players. Now, one of the things I started thinking about, and we didn't really touch on this, and I haven't seen anybody really touch on this. Are they a good combo, those two? It's like having 2 of the same players.
Oh, I think it's a good combo because they can play. I mean, NBA today is kind of interchangeable. So I mean, they're just 2 wings out there, right? They're playing the 2 and the 3. No, I think they just choked.
Yeah,
That's basically it. They
I
just
think so
choked.
too. You got a situation where they in game 5 with a 3-1 lead, they were up
Hmm
16 in the second half and they
And the
lost.
same thing in Game 6 also, right?
Game 6, they were up 19 in the second half and lost.
Yeah,
And last
that's
night they
choking.
were up 12 in the first half and lost.
Yeah. Well, last
That's
night, as game wise, last night was probably not a choke, but game 5 and 6,
mhm,
when you're up that much in the second half,
yeah,
that's pretty much choking,
yeah.
right?
Is that
I mean,
a
hate to say it. I hate to say that anyone chokes in the
sure?
professional sport. You hate to say because they all work so hard and all that, put all that effort into it. But there's no way around it, kind of, right?
Right. Is that something that sticks to Kawhi Leonard, or is he
He's
impervious
exempt.
to that one?
He's exempt to that one. I
Okay.
think you
Okay.
can give a
I'm
pass on
kind of on that
one
same
game.
page too. I'm a bit on
Yeah,
that same page.
I mean,
Um,
he basically led a franchise, two different franchises to the championship. So
yeah,
you can. And he was amazing against LeBron in Miami in
he
like
was.
2014,
He was.
right? And also last year that playoff run, and he was on like looked like 1.5 legs. That's what
Yeah.
it looked like to
Yeah.
me. And he was
So
getting to his spots, pulling up.
let's
Business.
yep. Let's shelve the Clippers for a moment and give props
Mm.
to the winners.
Oh
The Denver
yes.
Nuggets, man. 3-1 against my Jazz, come
Mm.
back and win the series.
Mm.
3-1 against the Clippers, down, come back and win the series. Never been done
Yeah.
before. That's
Nope.
very impressive. Two
Yeah.
straight series.
Haven't God, haven't they won like 6 elimination games or
Yeah,
something
six
now?
and 0 in elimination games this season.
And that's impressive.
Yeah, that's very impressive. So on an individual basis, it really, really stood out that the Clippers had no answer for the Joker. I mean,
No, they did
that triple
not.
double he threw up last night, 16
Yeah,
points,
yeah,
13 assists, and 22 boards. That's a
yeah,
monster game 7.
yeah. They had zero, and the two players that I hate going back to Clippers, but two players that kind of blew it for him. I hate going to geeky stats, but on plus and minus. I
Yeah,
think Lou Williams doing like -20 and Montrezl Harrell, but was like minus or they about the same.
yeah.
And plus, when they were like Clippers went down 20 points with them on the court.
And if,
So
if Lou Williams isn't on fire, then he's a liability because he can't stop
defense. No,
anybody.
yeah, because they were like they're hunting him like
Yeah,
on defense. When Lou Williams comes on, they're hunting to get the switch. So because everyone blows by him.
yeah, yeah,
So
absolutely.
yeah,
Murray, that dude was on fire in the Jazz series. He was a little
yeah,
neutralized by some of the length that the Clippers had in this series, but
yes,
25
totally
points in the
agree.
first half last night. He came out and
Yeah,
he gave them the business in the first
game
half.
7, yeah, game 7, 40 is pretty impressive.
Yeah, absolutely.
Especially versus what Clippers can throw at so many different people on. They can throw Kawhi, they can throw Paul George, they can throw in Pat Beverly, Shamit. They have 4
Hmm.
or 5 guys to guard him and check him pretty good, but he still scored 40 in freaking game 7. That's
Yeah,
impressive.
yeah. Speaking of Shamit, did you catch that play in
Mm,
the first half when he twisted his ankle and he came
mm.
limping up the court, and then all of a sudden he had the ball in his hand and he drained a three?
Yeah, that's typical NBA, though, isn't it?
He looked like he couldn't walk, and then they came down the other
Yeah,
end and he hacked to get off the floor.
yeah.
But that
But
was
that's
that was pretty funny.
that's typical.
Um,
That's not even typical NBA. That's typical basketball. Let's say you're a
yeah,
little bit
yeah,
hurt, but once you get the ball, you feel all better.
absolutely, absolutely. Nuggets X factor that shows
Mm,
up some nights and doesn't show up other nights is Michael Porter Jr. This guy's got a bright
mm-hmm.
future.
Oh
Um,
yeah.
he's a youngster.
How old is he?
They
21,
yeah
22?
they took him. I believe it was with the 7th pick in the draft when they
Yeah,
already had a nice young roster. So they got a guy with
and
probable 1 pick skills at 7.
yeah, because he had some type of injury issue,
Yeah.
right?
He
Coming
hurt
out of
his
college.
back. He missed most of
Yeah.
his 1 year at Missouri. I came back in time for the tournament,
Mm-hmm.
and then the Big 12 tournament, and then the NCAA, and he didn't play very well. Other
Yeah.
person to give props to is their coach. I really like Malone.
Yeah.
He's a great coach, good motivator.
Yeah.
If you noticed last night, as soon as the game ended, they went from Nobody could believe that we came back on the Jazz. Nobody could believe we came back on the Clippers, and he's got chip on the shoulder already. Nobody thinks we can beat the Lakers. So he's going to be a key in the series trying to motivate.
Ain't gonna help against the Lakers. They have again. This is matchup problems. They have really because they can actually kind of Lakers have better length to check Joker, right?
Yeah, for sure.
I mean, the only guy they had on the Clippers is that could bother him is Zubac, and Zubac isn't whatever.
Right.
It's Zubac.
Right.
You know,
and,
Lakers
and
have
Morris and
Dwight
Green
Howard.
are too small. Morris and Green are too small for him. So
Montrezl Harrell. Also, but the Lakers have what's his name? JaVale. They have Dwight Howard. They have they can stick AD on him. And actually, I think AD is their. You don't want AD on him in the beginning just because he might get in foul trouble guarding Jokic, right? But I think when it comes to crunch time, they will be putting AD on Jokic.
Yeah, I think so too. Let's do a little. Let's do a little maintenance for the Clippers here before we move on to the matchups of the two finals.
For Clippers.
The two conference finals. So, Doc Rivers gone, or does Ballmer give him another shot?
I think Doc stays.
You think so?
I'll be shocked if Doc is fired.
Yeah,
he's still one of the top 5 coaches in the NBA.
Absolutely, a good guy, solid guy.
Yeah.
You got to probably take another run with this group. As I did a little bit of research, the Clippers have absolutely zero cap space. They can use their mid-level exception to maybe bring somebody in. Their 3 unrestricted free agents are Green, Harrell, and Morris. I bring back Green and Harrell is what I would try to bring back.
I think Harrell's gone. I don't think he can afford him, right?
You think so? Okay. Yeah, you could be right. I mean, he could get a big open market contract.
Yeah, Harrell's got at least $20 million a year.
Yeah.
Do you think Clippers will go that much into luxury tax for Harrell?
Right.
And that's a tough decision, though.
Yeah, and
he's vital. And he's vital to their team, though.
George and Kawhi can both go free agent after next season.
Yeah.
It's going to be a quick off season. They're talking about getting started up in like December for next season.
So do you think this will be their last run with this team?
It could be.
That was a lot to mortgage your future on getting PG third. That was a lot. Dude.
Yeah, they gave up a ton. They gave up Gallinari, Alexander.
He was awesome. I loved.
Yeah, and now they're stuck. The other thing I was looking at, they don't have a tradable draft pick until 2028.
Yeah, something like that, right?
Yeah, they're stuck.
They gave away a ton. Yeah. Oh man, and they might. I mean, if Paul and Kawhi stays for they sign another 3-4 year contract, then it's worth it. Then it was worth it. Otherwise, that deal is gonna suck. That's gonna be like the Herschel Walker trade back in the day.
And you're talking about the possibility. I think they got green lighted for a new stadium to be over by. That's going to be over by the Ram Stadium, I think. Is what I was reading.
I thought it was on what I was reading. I thought it was like the Hollywood Park location.
Oh, okay. Maybe that's
Inglewood, right?
Okay.
They're tearing down Hollywood Park and putting that in, I think.
Okay. So you may be.
Have you ever gone to? Have you ever gone to the Hollywood Park, Ryan?
I never did. I've never actually been to a horse race, to be honest with you. It's just never something I've ever done.
You know what I got? I got to Hollywood Park once. That's really not a decent place. Whatever. Anyways, clubhouse is pretty okay. Anyways, I didn't actually watch a horse race. I watched damn chariot races.
Oh, those are awesome. Yeah, I've watched those before. Those are awesome. I'd love to see that in person. That's awesome.
And $2 exactas. On chariot racing.
Nice.
That was silly. Right. I think it's silly as fuck, but whatever. Yeah, that was fun. That's fun.
So moving on, game 1, Lakers Nuggets, Friday night. Give me an X factor for both teams. I know you've already kind of played your cards and you think the Lakers are going to win the series, but I'd like to know.
Yeah, I got Lakers. I got Lakers in 6. Okay. X factor in the Lakers, probably Rondo. I'm guessing. Right?
Yeah, I had Rondo. I have written down. I have Rondo or Kuzma.
Yeah, either one. I'd rather go. I'd probably go with Rondo.
Yeah,
Rondo, playoff Rondo is like when the playoff times comes around, he performs.
he does.
Uh,
He does,
yeah,
and
so
surprisingly, he's been shooting the ball pretty good.
yeah,
Yeah,
that's always been his knock on his game, but he's been shooting around 40 from three, right?
yeah,
I think.
yep.
Yeah.
And then on the Nugget side, my X factor, we just talked about him,
Michael
Porter,
Porter.
Porter or
Yeah.
Millsap. Millsap's a veteran that can, he can give you
Yeah,
25 every once in a while.
and most likely Millsap will probably be guarding LeBron.
Yeah, he's
I'll think.
probably the only guy with the body size that can.
Yeah, does he's like
Quickness is going to be a
6'8".
problem, but
Yeah. I think LeBron gets. He's gonna have to give LeBron space and just hope that LeBron misses his step back threes.
right.
Because he's gonna have to. Millsap is not gonna be able to contest. Yeah, but LeBron will just blow by him too easily. I would think.
One of the things that I think that we're going to see is we've got a super motivated LeBron James on our hands now.
Yeah,
He's smelling
definitely.
that title.
The finish line, dude.
Yeah, and I think he wants to put a stamp on this by saying that he won the championship in the bubble in the Black Lives Matter era of the NBA, the social justice platform. So I really think that that's going to be his motivation is going to be up. I was wondering whether the schedule would get to him. He's got a lot of miles on his tires and playing every other night for so long, but it doesn't seem to have affected him.
That not so far, but actually I thought that affected Paul George and I think and Kawhi.
Yeah,
playing every other day in Game 7. It had to affect them.
I read an article this morning.
They're not the younger players, because Denver's pretty much all younger, right?
Yeah.
And same with Miami, same with Celtics, right? Those three teams have pretty much young rosters. Lakers are the only team with the older roster, just like the Clippers.
Yeah,
right.
Absolutely.
And playing every other day, like you were saying before earlier when we first started doing this podcast, like the every other, it's gonna wear on someone like LeBron who's got some miles on his leg.
Yeah, and it just doesn't seem to have done that to him. But I did read this morning, some insider said that that was some of the talk in the huddle as the fourth quarter got started last night, that the Clippers were kind of sucking wind, that they were tired.
Yeah.
And it showed. They didn't get a bucket until there was 37.5 minutes gone in the quarter. That thing went from an 8-point game to a 20-point game like that.
Yeah, I think that did playing in the bubble every other day, that did make a difference on the older team.
Yeah.
Yeah. The Clippers.
All right, so you said Lakers in 6. I've got Lakers in 6. Could be 5. I'd love to see Nuggets in 7.
Of course, you're a Lakers hater.
I just have. It wouldn't matter. It wouldn't matter what uniform he's in. I've got LeBron James fatigue. So, not that I don't think he's a good guy or a great player.
Oh yeah,
he's
awesome.
great on and off the court. It's just I'm kind of in that whole new blood thing. I'd like to see Nuggets Heat.
See someone else.
Like so in our lifetime, how many times have we seen Lakers Celtics, and now we get the bubble, and we may get Lakers Celtics in the bubble too. So that's something.
That's kind of cool.
Yeah,
but you know what, that Lakers Celtics thing, it's not like it used to be. Like before, it was like a big old, especially in the '80s.
Oh yeah.
Now the Celtics just another team to me.
The '80s, that was the '80s and the early '90s.
That was a bloodbath.
Stop what you're doing and go watch Lakers Celtics whenever they got together. The 2 regular season games and whenever they got to the finals. So,
So now it's not like that anymore, I don't think.
Yeah.
So it's not as intense.
Just to talk about the East a little bit, we had a great Celtics-Raptors series. Celtics had that 3-1 lead. Or no, excuse me, we got the 2-2. And then the Celtics won Game 5 and Game 7.
They blew them out in Game 5. Yep. Well, actually, Celtics should have won that in 5 games. They should have. But Toronto hit that shot. It was like Game 3, right? Kind of turned it around. And Game 4 was kind of a letdown from Celtics. They kind of seemed like psychologically they're like kind of crushed from the Game 3. Yeah. And then Game 5, they came back and crushed. They blew them out. Yeah. Game 6, Toronto won. And then Game 7 was that was a good game.
It was. It was.
That's
a really
good
Game
7. Yeah.
And the Heat took the Bucks out quick style 4-1. If it wasn't for Chris Middleton putting on a Superman cape in Game 4 and scoring like 35 or whatever he put up, they would have got swept. Some of that having to do with Greek Freak tweaking his ankle. That was an interesting series because the Heat just took it to them. It was really not even close.
I heard, you know what? I was listening to, I think it was Bill Simmons' podcast. They were saying something very interesting. Was either that podcast or a different basketball podcast? Was that it's not the offensive efficient. I think Bucks are scoring about the same, but it's their defense. Like during the regular season, Bucks have a top-rated defense, and then in the playoffs, the last couple of weeks, just drops down to average because I think they're saying something. They have a philosophy of just kind of packing everything. They're not adjusting.
Right.
That goes to coach.
Miami's,
but I like Bud. I like Bud. So, but I mean, I like their coach, but he did really well at Atlanta. But in the playoffs, even with Atlanta, the playoffs when push came to shove, and I believe one of the seasons they had the best record in the East, right? In Atlanta, when push came to shove, he couldn't adjust his team from regular season,
right,
to playoff mode.
Yep.
And there is a difference.
There is a difference, and one of the things about the Bucks defense that I think we saw fall apart in front of our eyes was that Miami moves the ball. Miami shares the ball. Miami has Jimmy Butler, who, in my opinion, is, he's the back end of the top 10 players in the league. Maybe even the low teens. Maybe he's like 12, 13. But that guy will assess the game and say, they need me to lock this guy down. I won't do as much scoring. They need me to distribute, or they need me to score 30. And he does. He adjusts his game to game on what needs to be done that night. And he's a great leader.
He's just like an all-around player.
Yeah.
He's not just a scorer or pass. He just like you said, he does what needs to be done. And it's tough.
Yeah.
It's tough.
And in Game 1 last night, he hit some huge shots. I mean,
I missed that game.
He hit they swung it to him in the corner for a 3 when they were down 2 in the last couple minutes, and he gave a pump fake, and the guy went, I think it was Kemba, went flying by him.
Yeah.
And he reset, and he couldn't get fully set, so he was kind of leaning and hit a 3. Then they were down 2, and he drove to the basket, and he got Tatum to foul him for an end one. That's where we got to the 1-point lead just before the end of regulation, and then the Celtics tied it up on a out-of-bounds play where a foul occurred before the ball was thrown in bounds, so they got one free throw. And I didn't like what the Celtics did. They had about 7 seconds on the clock inbound at the side, got it to Tatum, and he dribbled 30-footer and clanged it off the back of the rim.
That was in the regulation.
Into the bucket. Yeah.
That was in the regulation.
Yeah, that was the end of regulation. Then it went into overtime.
And Heat won by 3, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
Well, I had a Heat.
Did you see the block?
6.
The block of all blocks, probably the best block of all time.
Was it by Bam?
Jason Tatum. Bam, right? They were down 2, and Tatum was at the top of the key, and he blew by his defender, and he took off. I thought, oh man, he's tying this. No, and Bam came out of nowhere and swatted. Not even swatted. He just palmed it. His hand went back because of the force of Tatum trying to dunk it.
Dude. That guy's so athletic.
Yeah.
Like in the old days, he would be playing, I guess, the 4, but now he's playing center.
Yeah.
And he's handling it, though. He's so athletic, he's handling it. I thought he'd be too small to play center in the NBA, but he's doing it.
Yeah, so. And I thought he would be – it's props to him. I thought he would be too limited offensively to make a – because at Kentucky, he was just a lob guy and put back dunks and stuff like that. He's got a little bit of a game now. He's got some offense, and he's working on it every year.
I saw him. Yeah, I saw him go because Giannis was covering sometimes. I saw him go at Giannis. And he was getting by him. And then he muscled him. He dribbled by kind of him. He got a little bit ahead of him. Then he muscled Giannis away and tried to dunk. He missed one dunk I saw, but still you can see his offensive game coming through. And also I'm impressed with his mid-range game though. Because he had no shot coming in. Yeah. Now he can shoot like a good 18 to 20 foot. It's pretty much automatic. Looks like to me.
He's working.
Looks like a legit NBA shot to me.
And
So
the other guy that's really impressed me, and I mentioned him early in the playoffs when we did, I think, the show that was just going into the playoffs, and we started talking X Factors and series. Dude, Goran Dragic.
Oh
Goran
yeah,
Dragic has played well.
the dragon.
Yeah, man. He's getting it done.
Oh man,
He is getting it done. And so
yeah,
is Tyler Hero.
he's crafty too. Yeah,
Yeah.
Hero, him,
Oh.
Duncan Robinson, even what's with Kendrick Nunn,
Mhm.
right? Oh my goodness, those four guys are. They have a great rotation of guards going to the backcourt. Those four
Yeah,
guys, they're all
absolutely.
young. You
And
know,
they
good
said
young legs, dude.
they said that
Mm.
Duncan Robinson had to be kind of
Mm.
prodded by Spoelstra
Mm-hmm.
to shoot more.
Mm-hmm.
He's such a good shooter, but he's also a very
Yeah,
unselfish player. So
yeah,
good to see that kid. I like his game. And
yeah.
that's
I
another
like how
person.
he.
Go ahead.
Because what you call it, Duncan Robinson, actually, the way he shoots and moves without the ball could legitimately become another like Reggie Miller, Ray Allen type. Not good as them, obviously, not going to, but that type of player because he moves really well without the ball. He goes like full speed, uses the screen really well. Then when he's coming off the screen, he's going fucking full speed, stops on a dime, just pulls up,
Yep.
and that is not an easy skill.
Right.
That is not an easy skill. So yeah,
Right.
props to him.
In that series, which coach do you take? Do you take Eric Spoelstra or do you take Brad Stevens? Which one would you rather have?
Dude, that's a tough one.
It
But
is.
Spoelstra already won though, but Brad Stevens is top notch. Everyone raves about, even Kyrie raves about him. Kyrie raves about Brad Stevens. Everyone raves about Brad Stevens, and things that everyone raves about Spo too, and the whole Miami culture.
Yeah.
So, since Eric is Asian, he's Filipino, kind of Asian. I'll go with Spo.
Yeah, that's who I'm going with, and I think that he's getting.
Oh, that's a tough one though.
Yeah,
that's a tough question, dude. Yeah,
Spoelstra is getting what I think is the props that he's always deserved, but everybody's always kind of been like, yeah, but he had Dwayne Wade, or he had LeBron, and he had Chris Bosh and Ray Allen and all these guys, and they didn't really give him the props for the great coach that he is.
Dude, look at what he's done after those guys left. He's kept them afloat, making the playoffs every year. So he's a really good coach. I think it's the whole Miami. It's Pat Riley also. Pat Riley groomed them. So it's the whole Miami organization. That they always talk about that culture. So it's got to be working, right?
Yeah. Give a little love to some of the rotational players for the Celtics. Brad Wanamaker, I like this guy.
Yeah,
he's a solid player. And Marcus Smart. Marcus Smart has improved his game so much.
Oh, yeah, he's offensive. He's shooting. His defense. He's always been a great defender when he first come into NBA. Sure. Great flopper also, but great flopper, great defender. But he's a great defender. He flops really good, and he's an amazing defender. Yeah. it's a good combo. Anyways, his offensive game's improved a lot. His shots gotten a lot better in the NBA. What did he score in the last game? Like 26 or so? Right?
Something like that, yeah. In game one, yeah.
Yeah, you can imagine doing that in the playoffs when he first came to the league. Yeah, he could barely get double digits.
And he's tough. He's tough as nails on defense, and nobody messes with that dude. He's always
and he can guard because he's so strong. He seems so strong. Like he can guard taller people.
Yeah.
So he get when they try to post him up, he kind of roots them out. It's really good. Yeah.
It'll be interesting to see if the Celtics get anything out of Gordon Hayward. There's two things there. He's still recovering from the injury, as well as his wife is pregnant, and he has made it known that if she goes into labor, he's gone from the bubble. He's leaving the bubble.
So then when he comes back in the bubble, he's got to be quarantined 14 days again, right?
No, it's like 3 days. Remember, Conley left the bubble for the Jazz, and he missed games 1 and 2 of the Nuggets series. So,
okay, so it's like 3 days?
3 days, I believe it is, yeah.
Okay. All right.
So,
boys.
It'll be interesting to see. If Hayward comes back, that's another scorer, and he plays solid defense.
That would be the X factor in that series, I imagine, because he has been playing with injury. And Gordon, I love Gordon Hayward. He's kind of like Jimmy Butler. He does what needs to be done in the court, and he can score. Obviously, he was an all-star.
Yep.
He can pass.
Yep.
He can rebound. Play defense. Get up and down the court. I don't know how well after those leg injuries. I don't know how well he used to, because I've seen him play live. His rookie year, he used to get up and down the court so well.
Yeah,
I think I told you this before. I was watching that game. This was the Loft City Clippers. I thought Gordon Hayward was the second best athlete on the court next to Blake Griffin.
Mm-hmm.
That's not impressive athleticism. Only guy that's what athletic on the court is on an NBA game is Blake Griffin. So,
and back then was when Gordon Hayward was a bony, skinny little dude. He wasn't built at all, and he's put some bulk on, and
and he's got a much better game now.
Yeah.
And let's see. I like his game. I like Jaylen Brown. Obviously, we love Tatum.
Yeah.
Oh God, I wish I was a Laker.
Yeah.
Oh,
look at the two guys picked before him, Lonzo and Markelle Fultz.
But Markelle actually had a decent season this year, though.
He did.
Orlando. He had a decent comeback season. So we'll see. We'll see.
All right. So on the Facebook post in the Sports Rambling Room, I took Celtics in 7. I'll stick by that, but I will not be surprised if the Miami Heat move on. Not at all.
Yeah, I think I took Miami in 7, right?
Yeah, you did.
Yeah. I just like Miami. After watching the Bucks series, they just play as a team. They play together, and you don't know who's gonna score. And like certain games, Duncan Robinson gonna go up. Certain games, Jimmy Butler. Certain games, last game, Dragic, right? Certain games, Adebayo's gonna give you like 20 and 15 rebounds. Yep. So you don't know where it's gonna come from. That's the tough part.
Yep. So that would then give both the Lakers in the finals, and if I get Lakers Celtics, I'll go Lakers in 6 against the Celtics. And you would have Lakers against Heat.
Yeah, Lakers against Heat, and I would have to take the Lakers in 6 again on that one too. 6-6 also.
The only team that had a chance to beat the Lakers probably
Clippers
was the Clippers, and the Clippers were the Clippers, and they choked.
Clippers. Oh my God. Yeah. Well, I mean, when I watched the regular season, when the Clippers play against the Lakers, Clippers just seem better, like a better team.
Yeah.
Clippers they just matched up really well with the Lakers.
Yeah. I think it's. I was reading something earlier today that was an interesting question. I want to get your take on it, and then we'll roll out of here. Somebody asked, do you think the Denver Nuggets would have survived 2 3-1 deficits if we weren't in the bubble and it was normal? They would have been playing game 6. They would have played game 6 in Utah.
I don't think so.
They might not have survived there.
No,
and they would have played game 7 in the Staples Center against the Clippers. I don't know.
I guess it is a Clipper again. It's the Clippers.
That's very true. That's very true.
I remember the Clippers. I remember Clippers blew that when they blew that 3-1 lead against Houston. Game 6 was at Staples, right?
And they were up big.
And they were up like 20 something going into the fourth quarter, right? Like 28 or something.
Something big, yeah. They were up
something
big.
Close. They're up close, and they took Harden out, and that Houston team, I think, was spearheaded by what's the name from Atlanta Hawks, the lefty, Josh Smith.
Yes.
Yeah. They're spearheaded. Yeah, and they came back on. I don't know how that team should have gone to the finals. That Clippers team should have gone to the finals.
Yes.
Sure. That was a big choke. That was big. One of the biggest chokes in a game.
Yeah.
End the series. Yeah.
I also saw somebody else say, let's do this every year in the playoffs and get rid of going and have it bubbled up for the playoffs every year. And I was like, no. It's a one-time thing that the NBA has done a fantastic job with it.
Yes.
It's been great. 2 things that we didn't talk about that I want to go back. They both have to do with the Houston Rockets. The first one being I'm forgetting his name right now, but the dude that got sent home because he allowed somebody into his room.
House.
Yes.
Yeah.
Did you see that story?
Yeah, what an idiot.
Did you see who it was that he let into his room? It was a
No, I
female
did not.
COVID tester. So he must have gotten his COVID test and used that as an opportunity to be like, hey, let's hook up. And she went up to his room and bang, done.
Unbelievable.
Unbelievable.
Oh
Unbelievable
my
was right.
God.
And
Oh
the
my
second
God. Is
one,
that one might be worse than Lou's. When
yeah,
Lou was
right.
going to get chicken wings in Atlanta or something.
He went to the strip club to get some wings. At least he got some good music, some
Oh
strip
my
club action, and some good
gosh.
wings out of that. This guy got sent
But
home.
yeah, Daniel House. Daniel
Yeah,
House,
there
right?
you go.
Okay.
And
Anyways,
then
but
the
he actually was a kind of important part of rotation.
yeah, he was their sixth man. He was scoring like 12 a night. He
Yeah,
was
he gets like 25, 30 minutes a game, right?
Yeah.
Oh
Yep.
boy.
And the second one was at the end of that series. Did you catch whose brother was it? Rondo's was it Rondo's
yeah,
brother
Rondo's
that was giving some lift to Westbrook?
Yeah, Westbrook got mad.
Yeah.
they went chirping. But if that wasn't in the bubble, Rondo's brother probably wouldn't gotten thrown out. I don't
Yeah,
think.
he wouldn't even have hurt him probably because I mean they
Yeah,
said he called him
but-
trash. He called Westbrook trash.
Yeah,
So,
I don't think Rondo's brother said anything harsh to him.
Yeah.
But of course Russ got overreact like whatever.
Right. And my favorite part of that, if you watch the replay, is it was in between LeBron's free throws. LeBron didn't even move. His eyes moved over to the side, and then he like looked over at Westbrook, and he was like, "Give me the ball, so I can shoot." All this mayhem's going on.
Well, those
LeBron
guys
was
play.
like,
I think those guys play pickup. I seen on YouTube they play pickup a lot.
mm-hmm.
I seen them play pickup and stuff. Anyway, LeBron's just probably used to Russ's antics.
Yeah,
whatever.
Exactly.
LeBron doesn't even care. He goes, "Oh, this is Russ being Russ."
Yep.
But you know what though? Being all that said, one thing I call him Westbrook, but because I think he just jumps too high on his jump shot.
I do too. Yeah.
I think so. I think if he get more like a set shot, jump shot, I think he'd be like Scottie Pippen did that. Scottie Pippen when he first came to the league, he had a pure jump shot where he got pretty high off the ground, and he adjusted it. And it just Russ jump shots inconsistent. But one thing I gotta say about Russ is that guy plays harder than anyone.
Oh yeah,
that's what you gotta love about him. That's what I love about him. Is like
he almost plays too hard. Yeah.
Yeah. But you gotta love that though.
He's like the line in he's like Travolta's line in Pulp Fiction where he's like, you got a race car in the red and you never want your race car in the red. And that's Westbrook. From the moment the opening tap, back and forth, and you're like, man.
But I love that though. He's so intense out there. It's cool. I think it's cool, but he just gotta fix his jump shot.
I wonder.
I don't think he
that
can at
combo
this
of
point.
Him and Harden.
Yeah, I just don't think he can at this point in his career. I think maybe early he could have, but just looking at his shot, just like Byron Scott had a great jump shot like that, but you got really pretty high off the ground then shot. Mm-hmm. But I don't remember any other shooters like maybe Ray Allen. That's about it.
Yeah.
Like Steph doesn't like to have a pure jump shot really. Klay Thompson, no, those guys don't jump that high off the ground to get their shot off. But Russ fucking just like explodes off the ground to get his jump shot off. So
yep. All right, man. Thank you for stopping in again. Here as the conference finals move on and we march into the finals, let's do this again. Maybe whenever they get the matchup
let's
set.
go Lakers, baby.
I don't have a dog in the fight. I guess if you were going to ask me.
Well, you could have. That shot was closed by Conley.
Yeah.
Oh, my God.
Yeah.
It was off by maybe, 1 inch?
Yeah.
You think? Right?
If you ask me if I have any rooting interest, I guess it's with, got two Syracuse players. I'm a huge Syracuse fan. You got Jeremy Grant on the Nuggets, and you've got Dion Waiters on the Lakers. So
no, not Dion Waiters.
A Syracuse guy will get into the finals for the first time in something like 40 years, I think they said.
Really?
Yeah.
Come out. No Syracuse guy?
No Syracuse player has made it to the NBA finals in like 40 years or something I read today.
Really?
Yep.
Was like
I was
David
shocked
Bing?
To read that.
Was it like David Bing or something?
I think that might have been maybe the last one. I'll have to look that up and I'll put the post
That's
up where
crazy.
I saw it.
Okay, so Melo never made it. Actually, Derek Coleman never made it. Sherman Douglas never made it. Cycling, no.
Lawrence Moten.
Yeah, you're right. Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm trying to run through my head of all the Syracuse guys. Yeah. I think, yeah. Shit, that's crazy, dude.
I was surprised. I was like, man, you know, we got
I'm
a
pretty
lot of
shocked too right now.
They're one of the
I
they're one
didn't
of the
know
top
that till
10
now.
college programs of all time.
Yeah.
Just
They're good every year. They get players
yeah.
every year. So
Yep. Nothing from like a guy you
wow.
would have thought like maybe even a guy like Econ Thomas as a backup big man or something like that.
I
He
was like,
never
so
did.
Coleman didn't make the NBA Finals with that Philadelphia team with Iverson.
No, their
He wasn't
bigs
on that team.
no, it was
Mutombo.
Mutombo, the big that big white dude from McCullough.
McCullough,
Um,
Lynch
yeah,
from North
Lynch, and
Carolina.
the ugliest man in NBA history, Tyrone Hill.
Tyrone Hill.
Yeah, he was there.
Hill.
Yep.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. So I
Because Derek
guess
Coleman, I know Derek Coleman did play with Iverson and the Sixers. So I was
Yes.
thinking maybe. Okay, so
Yep.
yeah, you're right. If I think back now, yeah, that team didn't have Coleman on the team.
Yeah, because then their other rotational guys were like McKee and
yeah, that's another what if though. Derek Coleman
Rick
should have been a
Snow.
lot better.
Yeah.
Derek Coleman should have been a lot better in the NBA.
Yep. So I guess if I had
They're
any
so
rooting
gifted.
interest, it might be with Miami because do you know who their first ever draft pick was?
Ronnie Cycli?
Yes, sir. And they had Sherman Douglas. So they had
That's
two of my
Sherman
favorite
Douglas,
all-time Q's players.
Oh, actually, check this out. Is that you're talking about? Let me see. Let's get anything. There you go. Sherman Douglas,
Right on.
Miami.
Right on. And
it was on my desk. I don't know.
That's awesome. That's awesome. And with that, on that note, we will close up this show. I thank everybody for watching. I thank you for stopping in again, Young, and enjoy the conference finals. I'm sure we'll be talking.
Cool. All right. Thanks, Brian.
All right, brother. I'll see you soon.
All right, bye.